And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you're listening. It's Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. I still can't get over it's 2026. And we're happy you are here hanging with us on this day. Hope you're having a good day. Lots to cover as always. We will do the markets, the economy, your job, your industry, the war, oil, corrupt sickos that have been voting on our future, and everything else that comes to mind. And most importantly, when we do markets today, listen closely to what we have to say. Muy importante. And if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our X feed. If you don't follow us on X, you should. And if you'd like to email us, just be nice, we'll be nice back. You know what? You can hate us. You can disagree with everything we say. And boy, when it comes to Trump and politics, we get a lot of that. But it's okay. Just do it respectfully. Hate respectfully. I don't know, can you do that? Anyway, we will treat you with utter respect at all times, regardless whether you disagree. And we understand there are disagreements because we understand the politics of this world. Anyway. Oh, we'll also post it on the YouTube channel of BizTV. So, first and foremost, you know, we have this line. Through the years, we have come up with lines, and we've stolen lines from people. One of the great lines comes from what I believe is the greatest technician of all time, Stan Weinstein. It's not the news, it's how the markets react to the news. It's not the news, it's how the markets react to the news. And leading up to last Wednesday's big gap to the upside, I always go backwards. Why do we go backwards in history? To remember things in the future. We're always looking to what we call in the market sore thumbs. You know what a sore thumb is? It's when all the news is bad and the market goes up, or all the news is good and the market goes down. When oil prices go up $12 on April 2nd, April 2nd. I believe that would have been, I got to get my dates right. But oil prices went up $12 on that Thursday, April 2nd, the day before Good Friday. And the market didn't get bludgeoned. Before that, when the market would go up $12, when the oil would go up $12, the market would get trashed. Hint, I don't know. Sure looks like it. Market may have been saying enough. So on that April 2nd, market opened down and finished up, which led to last Wednesday. We were told we were having a ceasefire, and 1,200 Dow points on the open and 800 NASDAQ points. And we called that a confirming follow-through day. But when you have war and people are dying and the news changes every 45 minutes, do you trust? Well, that was a freaking confirming follow-through day that we've taught you about. And if there's any lesson to it, is that the bigger the follow-through day, the more important it could be. Why? There's been improvement in the weaker areas. But the stronger areas, the strength has been boffo. We don't very often, we don't like to say what we're doing, because if you don't listen the next day, and we can buy something on Monday and sell it on Tuesday. But just to give you an example, the semiconductors, the ETF for it, is up 10% from the close of Wednesday. It was the first important area to break out of range from the correction/bearish phase. This SOXX, which is an ETF, broke out at 368.82 on the Wednesday. Seriously. It's 401. Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. You can add that up. And that's an ETF of stocks. Individual stocks have done better, been stronger. So the leading group that we always talk about, as I watch a wasp go by my face, breaks out. Another signal. And all I can tell you is just good. Dow up another 300 today. NASDAQ 455, NASDAQ 100 458 as the mega caps been dead money. Dead money to life. Meta up 27 today. Nvidia 7.5. We told you that was coming around. Google up 11. Amazon up 8. Tesla been dead money. It still is up 11. Netflix slowly going up 3. Microsoft up 8. Oracle up 7 in the software, though we're still wary on the software. We'll explain ourselves in a couple of minutes with the software. Now, we've already scanned the whole freaking market, and I have to tell you, we think it remains narrow. We're going to stick to a lot of the technology and semiconductors and artificial intelligence type trades in those areas we have mentioned. And we pretty much can ignore a lot of other areas. They've all improved. Things have gotten better in the financials, but they're certainly not in bull markets. Citigroup may be. It broke out today on an earnings report. A rare occasion right now for the banks. But as I go through retail and other things, transports are much better. The transportation index is at a new high, but it's getting skewed by a short squeeze in Avis Rent-A-Car. I don't see anything else at highs in the transports, but definitely better. There's your story. You're getting news-driven moves. Symbol BE up 42 today because they announced something with somebody in AI. CRDO, they announced somebody they're buying with AI. That was up 25 today, so you're getting some of that. And that's it. I don't need to look at China. Gold and silver better because the dollar's dropping. I'm not going to own oils because oil dropped another $4 today. I don't need insurance. Bleh. I don't need consumer staples. Bleh. I don't need retail. I got a few retail stocks that are stronger, but don't see a lot of oomph. I'm certainly not going to buy ADP and Paychex and the autos. Managed care a little bit better, but no thanks. Housing and housing related is off the bottom, but certainly no bull market. I got one restaurant that looks good. That's, what is symbol? QSR, which, by the way, is Burger King, and they're improving. Whopper's much better than the McDonald's burgers. So we'll stay with what be working. The semis, AI, and all that crap. Up next. What else we got for you? This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So, we still don't know outcomes out of the Middle East, but I guess the bombings have slowed down. And all I can tell you is oil prices dropped another $4 today. At least, I think we're down to... Let me see what I got going for you on oil prices. On the light crude, I got 88.78. On the Brent crude, I got 95. The USO, the ETF for light Swede, down $4.62 today. And I can tell you flat out, markets love that. And what it also does, it enables yields to drop even more. The 10-year yield dropped to 4.256. Do you know what it was? 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see what day it was. On 3/27, it hit 4.484. It's 4.256. By the way, you know what happened on 3/27? By the way, that's March 27. The market bottomed. The day oil prices topped, the market bottomed. Duh. So, Gary, what if oil prices shoot up again? The market probably comes in. Duh. Part 2. But at the close of the day, semiconductors, artificial intelligence plays in the storage, data storage, memory, electronics, the construction / energy. That's the place, with some mega caps getting better. Amazon, and I know they announced some AI crap, has come straight up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Do you know on the day of the gap, it hit a high of 226, closed at 221. It's 249 today. 11% in a mega cap in 4 trading days. By the way, it's still not at the highs. And by the way, they report earnings in 6 trading days, or I would have been in it already. I don't have the grapefruits to buy something 6 trading days before. But dang. Google. By the way, these are top 7 stocks. Probably should have bought some today. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Coming on strong. Went through the correction with the market. It topped out with the market. It bottomed with the market and done nothing but good since, and is only $17. Let's see, that's about 5% below its highs. Meta, they announced some AI crap, and on that Wednesday goes up big and had another good move today. I love that they've done AI in the past and it wasn't good, and then they announce another AI and the market takes it as, oh, this is going to be good this time, and the market shoots first, asks questions later, and when I say shoots first, buys it up. But therein lies the story. I don't need to really go into other areas of the market right now. I mentioned Citigroup broke out today on earnings. Interesting, Goldman Sachs gapped down 42 points yesterday on its earnings report. Finished down only 17 and was up 19 today. So Goldman Sachs got back the whole gap yesterday. That's good news. Why? It's one of those financial bellwethers. Now, Wells Fargo not happy today on its earnings, down $5. JP Morgan not happy with the earnings, but it's only down $2. 2 and change. But we're always looking, listen carefully, for the great reactions to earnings, which takes us to software. We said to you yesterday could be a moment. It's a real strong day for software, and some names had a good day again today, but kind of sort of off the highs, and not sure they're out of their bear market. How do we know? The software ETF has not broken above the roadmap 50-day moving average. And the only name that kind of sort of has a decent bottoming process is Oracle. Like to see more, and maybe going to need some more time. So I'm not that thrilled with it, though yesterday was a darn good day. Next, watch the old highs. It's pretty simple. If the S&P can break above 7,003, and I got to tell you, we're only 36 points away. That would be nice. That would be a multi-month breakout. Now, it hit 69.20 in November. Hit a high of 7,003 in February. But I really go back to November, because 1% to me is no biggie. The NASDAQ. The high was 24,019 in October, 23,988. So let's call it a little over 24,000. It closed at 23,639. A break above that would be a multi-month breakout. And let me be clear and concise about something. Multi-month breakouts in the big indices are usually good news. NASDAQ 100, we're going to call it, well, get this. It hit 26,182 in October and 26,165 in late January. So let's call it 26,180. We're about 340 points from that. A move above that would be huge. The QQQ's high was 637. We're at 628.57. So we're getting close. And why indices breaking out the highs are important? Because it carries a lot of stocks. Simple as that. I do believe you're going to need software to get better. I do believe you're going to need financials to get better. I do believe you're going to need broad market to get better, which it is. But as far as leadership, still not seeing a lot. But we'll get more. And as you know, we've said for ages, follow technology. It'll tell you a lot, and technology's leading again. The semiconductors broke out first. And man, oh man. Now, near term, short term, off the charts. They have these things in my business called oscillators. They're really in the trees now. Overbought, stretched, extended. But in order to get to that point, you had to have a good move. And I do believe we're getting to the point where things have gotten better enough that pullbacks should be controlled and rotational. Up next, what else is going on in the world? This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. So, little morbidity. As you know, my dog Winston is now 14. When he was 11, they gave him 6 months. Aggressive cancer. Did the surgery, but they said, it's going to come back quick. And it did. It came back quick. One more surgery. Nothing happened for 3 years. A year ago, it moved to a place where they can't do surgery anymore. And all I do is watch to see. There's certain things you watch for when it's really affecting them. And up until the last week, I have not seen any of those signs. Starting to see a couple of signs. I'm not going to get into it, but we're watching very closely. This dog has been my shadow. I take a step, he takes a step. I go to sleep, he goes to sleep. I lay down, he lays down. I sit down, he sits. So we're spending a lot of time together after this show. Going to take him on the trail for a nice little hourly walk in the nice weather we're having here in Central Florida. But you guys know what I'm feeling. Dogs, they're the greatest. And as you know, I had another dog with Winston called Cosmo. I guess it was now 4 years ago he passed. He went to about 14 years old. I didn't speak to anybody for a week after Cosmo went. It is going to be rough going when Winston. But he's still doing good. He's looking at me right now, wagging his tail. Dad, when are you going to be done with radio? Let's go. Few minutes, buddy. Anyway, that's my little Winston. In case you don't know how Winston came about, 6 months before my son Aaron was graduating from Florida State, he gets Winston, knowing he's moving to New York when he graduates, and drops Winston at my doorstep. Best thing my son ever has done. Anyway, we have no idea what happens tomorrow in the market. As we said, we're very overbought. Big dose of bullishness coming on. Oscillators bright red, so maybe we do some pulling back, I don't know. But all we can tell you is the areas that led out of the morass. Big word from Gary, M-O-R-A-S-S. They're leading. Rest of the week. Let's see. Tomorrow, ASML, very important semi. Bank America, M&T Bank, Morgan Stanley, PNC Bank in the banks. After the close, JB Hunt in the transports. Thursday, Schwab, Bank of New York, been a strong bank. How about Pepsi, Travelers, Dow stock, U.S. Bank Corp, Netflix. That'll be Thursday after the close, and Netflix has been acting better. And I believe, I'm not sure what day, Taiwan Semiconductor reports, Fifth Third Bank Corp on Friday, Regions Financial, State Street Bank, Truist, Alley Financial, so a bunch of financials Friday. And I still, for the life of me, I still don't understand why Truist changed their name from SunTrust. What the hell is a Truist? SunTrust is a great name of a bank. Trust. And you're in the southeast. Sun. I've never done this, but I'm looking up the word Truist. See if it's even a word. Definition. Truist definition. Most commonly refers to a major U.S. bank, but can also mean one who speaks obvious truths. Okay. A person who makes a truism. A truist. Okie dokie. What else? Couple of congressmen go bye-bye. One of them cheated on his wife with some lady, and I forgot about this. This woman killed herself. He stepped down. This guy Swalwell, this guy spent more time as a predator of women than in Washington, D.C. It's one of those where there's a bunch of them, and here's the thing that sucks. And as you know, we say they all suck. You know what sucks? All of D.C. knew about it, and they did nothing about it. It's just like that guy Weinstein in the movies. They all knew about it and never said a frickin' thing. People suck. There's simple rules, right? Don't be a sexual predator. Isn't that a rule? Don't you think? Anyway, both of this, I think this Swalwell is going to be indicted for a bunch of things. This woman that came back today said she was drugged, choked, the whole works. And I got to tell you, I think I have a good feel whether somebody's BSing or not. I think I do. This one was telling the truth. Anyway, so 2 creeps are gone. I think there's 2 more that need to go. I mentioned them yesterday. And while we're at it, anybody who's corrupt and trading with inside information, maybe want to work on that too. Don't you think? Anyway, everything we have ever said about them, unfortunately, is coming to fruition from the top down. From the top down. Trump. You know what I love? The people that defend him. He'll do the stupidest things. Say the stupidest things. Be a gargantuan moron. Yeah, but it's just him. That's their excuse. But you know him. It's just Donald Trump. Sure. Do you know how many votes he has cost the Republican Party this coming election? A bazillion. He's lost the independent vote. He's lost the Hispanic vote. He's lost the young vote. Guess what he won the election with? The independent vote, the Hispanic vote, and the young vote. That'll become November when we get Speaker of the House Hakeem Jeffries, and then they subpoena every person with the last name Trump, everybody and they impeach him, and Trump's going to pardon everybody, just like Biden pardoned his corrupt family. Welcome to Washington, D.C. Oh, by the way, Trump's going to run a $2.4 trillion deficit this year. 2.8. I'm off. 2.8 trillion. Think I'm happy? Oh, wait till we get President Newsom. That failure. He's probably up next. Amazingly so. Let's hope somebody on the right that thinks logically, shuts their mouths, and thinks like me. Balanced budgets, low taxes, less regulations, strong on crime, get the hell out of the way. Oh, and get rid of all tariffs. That's what we're hoping for. I think Rubio fits the bill, but he is going to be carried away because of Trump. That's my take. Don't be emailing me. What does this have to do with the market? Everything. Those who run the country have everything to do with the markets. Up next, this, that, and the other thing, and whatever else. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Thanks for being with us today. In the news, I don't think this is happening, but there is some stories going around about a merger between United and American Airlines. No way. No way. I'm a big believer in, if companies want to get bigger through mergers, fine. But I'm just thinking in my mind, United and American would have just too much. There has to be a limitation on how many cities you have, and in the airline industry, I think that would be United. I know where they're housed. American, Dallas, yeah, that would be tough. But it's out there. In the news, by the way, I should have mentioned this before, this Pope thing with the president. You know how many votes he's lost on that one? Just letting you know. And again, we're bringing that up. You don't think it matters. Well, Speaker of the House Hakeem Jeffries for 2 years, the last 2 years of the Trump presidency. I'm guaranteeing it. Do you know how many people are on X right now posting, I voted for Trump every time, and now screw him, just over the Pope thing? You don't frickin'... I don't know what to tell you. Trump's goofy. That's all I can say. In the news, we're just going to mention something very important again. We have been doing a deep dive on artificial intelligence and your jobs. And I still think there are a lot of unknowns. There's all kinds of talk about this industry and that industry, and this is going to cut down and that's going to cut down. I'm just going to repeat. Make sure you're indispensable at whatever you do when you're working for somebody else. There has been a move afoot, and I'm sure you're reading about it, about companies are knocking out 4,000 here, 3,000 there, 2,000 here, 8,000 there. And they're all saying, well, you know, this artificial intelligence thing, we're able to do this in a matter of days that used to take us a year. That's going on right now. We have no idea to what extent, what tentacles there will be, but it's out there. Want to make sure you know that. Even Disney just cut 1,000 jobs. Huh. And if you have a chance, spend some time just reading up on this stuff. This is a potential moment. It's a potential moment that could define corporate America going forward. You don't get that many moments. Margot Vuicic, you don't know who she is, but she ran HR for the company I was at in the 90s. And I remember her walking into my office and said, hey, just letting you know, you're going to be getting on inter-office email starting in 2 weeks. I said, what was that? Do we even remember before we had email or the internet? I don't at this point. That was a seminal moment and continues to be. So we're doing a deep dive on this AI just because I want to know. And I must say, a lot of it's confusing. A lot of moving parts. You can read up OpenAI, ChatGPT, this, that, and the other thing. Make yourself indispensable. The go-to person that the president or CEO knows in a pinch. You're that person. I can't say that any louder. By the way, it's one of the reasons I've owned my own company for God knows how many years. I was fired once in my life, and I hated it. I hated it. Earnings season. Here's what we're looking for. As we started the show, it's not the news, it's how things react to the news. We're going to be looking for companies reporting earnings, beating estimates, that's always a good thing, potentially accelerating their numbers, meaning if they've been averaging 20% earnings growth a quarter and all of a sudden get a 40. Want to know why? And usually when something accelerates, it lasts for a while. And then the reactions. And then we'll look to, is it a group move? Whoa. 15 companies in this group gapping up? Tell you a lot about that group. We've been watching the banks already. Very disappointment in Goldman Sachs yesterday, but got it all back. And Citigroup breaks to a new high on their earnings. But Wells Fargo, heading lower. So it tells us mixed bag. JP Morgan, heading lower. Tells us a mixed bag. Doesn't give a lot of information except it tells us some good reactions. And then we just take it from there on a daily basis. That all said, I'm going to take Winston for a long walk. You have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family, hug your children. They will feel better. You'll feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Really appreciate you joining us. Until tomorrow. Peace out all. Good night.